Thank you so much for tuning in to Soul Water Saturday, where your soul never thirsts. It is I, your girl, Beauty N Barzz. Today is a different kind of day. We have something different that Beauty N Barzz has done. Y'all know Beauty N Barzz always doing something. So it's something similar to something else I've done, but it's a little different. I'll tell you about it right now. So I attended another Zoom. Beauty N Barzz, she attended another Zoom, guys. I guess Zoom is the new thing. It's not my thing, but in order for me to meet new people and expand and get my poetry out there, I have to do things a little differently in this world that we live in right now. So Beauty N Barzz attended another Zoom. Tune in to see what happened during this Zoom.
To be honest with you, it was more or less me telling her about the podcast because somebody told it to me. And I think that's very important as well, too, in our culture. And I think us as humans, you know what I'm saying? The problem, or I see, I guess, the problem is a lot of people are looking to get the information and hold on to it for themselves. Oh, I got to make it first. Then I'll let y'all in, and I just never felt like that. You know what I mean? Now, I'll be honest with you. Am I going to give you all the keys and just say, here's the keys, take off? No. I'm going to make sure you do the research and then let's have a conversation about it. That's the type of person I am. But I will have a real in-depth conversation with you about whatever it is that you want to do. It might not be podcast. It might be clothing. It might be, you want to kick off your music career. These are my areas that I mastered, you know what I mean, so to speak. And I'm still learning as I go. But again, I don't have a problem with sharing the information because it was told to me. It was told to me once upon a time. You know what I mean? So that's the only way I knew. And I think as people, we don't share the information enough, or we don't reach back enough. You know what I'm saying? We don't do anything to try to help out our fellow man or fellow woman. It's all for self. And everybody is looking for a come up. And I hate that mentality, but it is what it is, so. But those are a little bit about, about my companies and how I got them started. I could go into detail on how I started Weird. So with Weird, once I got the name, I went down to the state, registered as LLC and everything like that, got everything registered under a company. And I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to do none of that either. It was all my wife. She was in the back end, just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this for you, I'm gonna do this. So she was getting everything together for me. So I give her the credit on that. I didn't know how to do any of it at the time. And I remember getting a full check. Show you how green I am. I got a full check from my employer at the time. And I went out and I got me a merchant's license. That's something else that if you're dealing with clothing, you're going to need to get you a merchant's license. What a merchant's license would do is that's going to give you the ability to buy bulk clothes, buy blank bulk clothes. So a lot of blanks, so you can put your stuff on it. It's going to give you the ability to buy all of that and not have to spend or break the bank. Okay? So another key. So it's full of keys, like Nicole said. It's all about, us just giving the information if we can. But you need to get yourself a merchant's license. So I got me a merchant's license. I went to the place. I went to go get my blanks and stuff. I spent like a whole check buying T-shirts. Just two colors though. A white and a black T-shirt. Okay? A white and a black T-shirt. Oh man, I had to design them how the wording was gonna look and everything like that. I got all that stuff. I got it all mapped out. I went to go to a print house where they will print up, they'll screen print your shirts. and they'll put your information on there and stuff like that. Man, I went there, talked to them about what I wanted them to do. It was like, okay, we could do it for you. You know what I mean? We'll do everything that you asked, And at that point in time, by the time I found them, I spent another full check getting that done. A whole 2 checks. And so when I got it done, like I had this big old box of shirts. I mean, a huge box of shirts. And I'm thinking, man, like at the time, I'm thinking, man, I'm really doing it. Like I got my own clothing line. Like I'm really killing it. I got 2 shirts. I got 2 shirts. One white, one black. Take your pick. So, some of them I passed them out to family. Some of them I gave away, and some of them I sold, and a lot of them I kept. I had somebody was buying from me. That's all I had. So I learned the lesson 101 when starting my clothing company. Inventory sometimes can be a killer of your company. So that's something I learned early on. And it's funny because when I was starting Weird, I had a conversation with a barber, and I was getting my hair cut, and this is before I started Weird, and the barber told me, he said, I had a clothing line once before, and I'm like, okay. And so I'm thinking he about to give me some type of glory story, That was my first thought. Then my second thought was, okay, why is he in a barber shop though if he had his own clothing line? So, those thoughts popped in my head. So he told me, he's like, I had a cool ass, sorry for swearing. He's like, I had a cool clothing line, and he was like, but what killed me was inventory, and he was like, you're gonna find out like when you start your company. He was like, the inventory is gonna kill you. And he was like, you have to keep changing it. And I'm thinking in my head, like, yeah, right, dude. Like, your stuff wasn't that cool. Maybe nobody liked it. I've always been, I'm humble, but I've always kind of been cocky. So when I started my own clothing line, that happened. And I never will ever forget that gentleman who told me that, the barber who told me that. I'll never forget that conversation just because he was right. You know what I mean? Like, you don't go in and invest, all your little money, behind the 2 things. You got to, like, really ration it out and really figure out, like, what your market is looking for as well. So that's a huge step as well, too, in starting your own clothing.
Well. I played that song because our next presenter is going to do it her way. She is going to always do it her way. I was with her last night, and she was amazing. You had to be there to see it. She got in her element, and it was what it was, for real. She's my sister, my friend. No, she's not my friend. She's my You would have to be a member of Holy to understand that. But she is going to come in her own way. She's our next presenter. And I want you to listen to her because I did. I played that song. That song got played because she's going to always do it her way. But I love her because even if she bump her head, she's going to get up and she's going to do it again. And she's going to learn the lesson, as we all do. So our next presenter is none other than Sister Shy Beauty and Bars is her name. Here she go in her own way. All right. No, I'm not going to do poem yet because you said don't do the poem yet, so I'm just going to talk about me. Okay, so my name is Shaitan, poet named Beauty and Bars. Just to start off first, I really enjoyed you, Brother Eric. Only thing I had to say because it came to mind when you mentioned that you didn't have time. We have a lot of time. We always have time. Something that my pastor taught me is we always say that we don't have time, but there's 24 hours in a day. And all of that, but time is not, it doesn't even exist because
we are spiritual beings, so we are living in eternal. We're just passing through this lifetime where there is time. God had to put us on time in order for us to have some establishment when it comes to order. But you always have time, Brother Eric. So,
thank you.
Not going to go too much into the past because past doesn't exist, as I just mentioned. But it's above all of that now. Now, let's talk about the hard drive. Our mindset is a hard drive. So once you have certain things programmed in that hard drive, you have to go through the process of erasing it all. And it's a process. Like, I literally had to clear my whole hard drive and get it replaced. And it was a struggle because it was programmed, you can't do this, you can't do this. It was programmed in my hard drive of, you know, that poor mindset of you have to depend on the government. You have to put your trust in man. It was, my hard drive was programmed with, you won't amount to nothing. You're not going to graduate high school. All of this stuff was programmed in my hard drive. So I'm still going through the process of erasing some of it all. It's taken a lot of prayer. It's taken a lot of believing in myself. It's taken a lot of learning who God is and learning that he is within us in order for me to know that I am capable of doing any and everything. And let me tell you first, I've always had visions of where I'm supposed to be, of what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'll tell you, like, 3 years ago, I'll say 2 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be speaking. And I really love my sister for believing in me enough to bring me on here, because I would have never thought that I would be speaking on any type of platform, because I was always saying, oh, I'm shy, I'm scary, I can't speak in front of people. That was always the way that I thought. And I got out of that because I really started doing open mics. I'm a poet. I am a poet. Like, everything within me is a poem. I wake up thinking about poetry. I go to sleep thinking about poetry. I breathe poetry. I am poetry. So I started going to open mics and started putting myself out there. Yes, I would mess up sometimes, but I started getting comfortable with it. And I realized that I'm capable of doing anything that I really put my mind to. I could speak in front of people. I was doing Herbalife at one point in time. I was speaking in front of a whole bunch of people. I amazed myself. And it's because I started believing in the God in me. I started believing that I'm capable of doing anything. We always say that I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. It's so easy to say that. People call that the cliche saying, even though it's in the Bible, because all people say that. Well, are you really doing everything that the Lord has gifted you to do? And I was one of those people that the Lord gave me a vision for this group called Heal. I started the group, never finished the group, never saw where the group would go. I was always starting things, but had trouble finishing them. And I was very inconsistent with everything that I did. I was. But the past doesn't exist anymore. So in this present time, I have this project that I'm doing. It's called Soul Water Saturdays, and I do it every Saturday consistently. I even do some exclusive where I just do things throughout the week. But I've been doing it consistently now for 4 months, and that's a shock to me because I don't remember the last time I was consistent with something. It's always, oh, I'm starting this, but I didn't finish this. But I started putting my mind to stuff. I have 2 books. One is called Heaven Soundtrack. The other is called Hell's Lyrics. And I tell you, I stayed up late. I didn't care. I didn't care about sleep, because when you're really striving for something and you really want to do something and you got some dreams that you're going after, sleep is not a factor. You don't care if you up all day long. So I would be up late nights knowing that I have 4 kids. You said you have 3, Brother Eric. I have 4. They're all young. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old that's about to be 3. And I would be up late knowing that I had to deal with my kids, but it didn't even matter to me. I would sit up in their room while they're going crazy and doing all this and talking to me and mommy, mommy, mommy. I didn't even hear them because I was focused on what I had to do. I had to get those books done, and I set a deadline for myself, and I made sure to meet those deadlines. So I completed those books, and then after I did that, I was like, okay, what's the next thing for me to do? And then I was given Soul Water Saturdays, and I do that on YouTube now. I also am wearing my shirt as well, which is KCP. It says Kingdom Tears Poetry. So you gave me some advice when it comes to a clothing line. I have a clothing line that's in the progress, I'll say, which is Kingdom Creation, and Kingdom Tears Poetry is a part of it. So, you know, my husband, he also has his little thing going on with his Jerry curl. So we're getting rolling with stuff. We're already rolling. But as far as where I am now, I can't thank God enough for where I am now, because I really know that I can do all things. I know that I'm unstoppable. I know that I'm rich. I know that I'm wealthy. I know that everything that I need lies within me. Like, literally. I've been doing things that I couldn't imagine doing. Last night I went to an open mic, and it was so wonderful. And my sister, Nicole, she was with me, and we just had a kingdom time. And every day for me now is a blessing, because I just live it. I'm not existing anymore. I say that. I'm actually living now. I used to wake up and just feel like Groundhog Day, pretty much. Like it was a replay every day. And I was like, gosh, this cannot be life. But that's because I was existing. I wasn't living. So now I'm living. Like I'm claiming everything because I know who I am. I'm a traveling poet. I'm wealthy. The person I looked up to since I was 5 years old when I started writing poetry was Maya Angelou. And even though she is not here in the physical, she still lives on to me. I talk about her as if she's here because she is here. You know, her spirit still lives on. That woman, I look up to that woman. I love her. And my goal for my life, I've always said, it's even in my books and my poems, I will save the world one soul at a time. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do. That's what God put me on this earth to do. And just to inspire somebody, I just want to tell you guys, even if you don't come from the best background, don't even look at your past. Don't look back, because you can do anything, like literally, if you just believe and have faith and just see it, feel it. It can be done. You can manifest it. Like literally, you can manifest it. So I've been manifesting things that people told me that I wouldn't be able to do. So I really want to tell you guys that we are here for a purpose. God put us here for a purpose, to live a purpose, to achieve a purpose. We're here for a purpose. And I don't want to be one of those people that's making the graveyard rich, pretty much, because it's filled with a whole bunch of rich people that had dreams that they didn't complete. And I refuse to be one of those. I don't want to be a person that didn't complete what God had me here for. So continue to live your purpose. If you don't know your purpose, go to God and find your purpose, because I'm living mine, and I'm soaring above anything that anybody ever told me. If they tell me I can't do something, I'm going to make sure I soar higher than what they ever thought of me.
And it goes back to what Shaw was telling us, how you have to believe in yourself. No matter what people say to you, no matter what people say, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't achieve this. But what do you believe? What do you say about yourself? How do you look at yourself as an individual? How do you look at yourself from your dreams and achieving your goals? So this is what this song is saying to us, is that we need to believe in ourselves no matter what. No matter what life throws at us, no matter what deck of cards we'll dealt, but believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. So our next presenter will be no other than Freedom Talk. Freedom Talk, you ready? Freedom girl. Freedom girl. Let's go, Freedom girl.
What's up, everybody? First of all, I want to say we call this a game of chess, right? And we call this a game of chess for many different reasons. So we're going to go here just for a little bit. I'm not I know I'm not in church, but I'm not going to be before you long. Ain't that what they say? But I wanted to talk about, kind of everybody was saying the same thing. But for me, it's like, what was my strategy? What did I believe I could do? That's why I like this song so much, because there was a time when I didn't believe I could do anything. I didn't believe I could succeed at anything. I didn't believe in myself, and if you believed in me, I still didn't believe in me. So that's why my catchline is change your mind, change your speech, change your life. I say it a lot because it's the truth. And if I didn't change my mind, I wouldn't be here today. So I had to have a strategy, and I had to come against and fight everything that was fighting against me. But guess what? Guess who was fighting against me? Me. I was my worst enemy. For me, I couldn't do anything right. So, freedom talk for me, again, it's not church, but it's my testimony. It's my life. I can only speak free about my life. I can speak freedom in my life and I have to believe what I speak. So now that I've gotten to a place where I believe it, I feel it, I put it together, and now I don't allow any negative in my circle. I don't like negativity. I get the heebie-jeebies when negative come around me. You think I don't like negativity. And so I'm one of them people that I've gotten to a place now where I say, get up. You can do this. Get up. Eric said he was YouTube king. I am learning to be YouTube queen. Everything you need is at your fingertips. And we think we have to get these great people to teach us and pay all this money. Sha does her own websites. She creates her own business cards. I do logos. You understand? Eric does logos. All I'm trying to say is we don't need to be dishing money out all the time when everything we need is already on the inside of us. Everything we need, if we believe it, is within. So when I say get up, get up. Get up. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was talking about how we have to, I know a little about chess. I played chess before. Am I the greatest at it? Nope, not at all, not yet. It's not a game that I choose to really want to learn like that. However, I know about easing through those bishops and easing through those pawns and getting past that king to get to that queen. You understand? And so our checkmate is looking at the end of the thing, seeing yourself finishing it and then going back and finishing it. I hope that made sense. Seeing yourself, the end result. Getting back to the beginning and not going to the end. Start from the end and make it happen. We can get up and accomplish anything. We don't have to be a product of our surroundings, but we're only that because if that's all we see, then that's all we're going to think. And if that's all we think, then that's all we're going to see. We will never, ever, ever succeed if we stay in the mindset of I can't. If we stay in the mindset of I don't know how. If we stay in the mindset of our hand always being out. We always want a handout. We always want somebody to help us. But when do we get up and do it ourselves? So we have to get to that place, y'all. And for everybody, I don't know who on Facebook now because I'm not there to see it, but whoever's on Facebook, because it's on Facebook, whoever comes back and listen to the recording or whatever, understand and know that you can get up and do this. You don't have to stay stuck where you are. You don't have to wait on somebody to tell you. And so many times we sit and we wait on somebody to push us. But what will happen if you never get the push? What will happen if somebody don't ever come along? Would I have ever done it if I have never seen a man in an inconsistently consistent shirt? This was one of my trainers at Chase. He has moved on to do his own thing now, thank God. But if I had never seen that when I had ever got up, I had Anchor downloaded on my phone already. But I had never done anything with it. It was just there taking up space. Hadn't looked at it. Didn't think I could do it. Didn't think anybody would want to hear my story. But I understand that people do. People look for me to do what I do every Monday morning. And I was like, Beauty and Barzz, I was never consistent. Ever consistent. I was inconsistently consistent. I was inconsistently consistent on a consistent basis. Real talk. You can count on me not to get the job done. You can count on me not to finish what I started. You can count on me to be negative. I was negative Nancy. You can count on me for that. But one day I had to wake up and see something in me. And when I saw something in me, it don't matter what you see anymore. It matters what I believe about me. And so my thing is, we have to look at things and say, yes, we punch a clock. Some people still punch a clock. But that's not your source. And when you can see what your source is, then it's easier to do what you got to do. That 9 to 5 is not your source. When you become tired of, you go to lunch at this time, you can go to break at this time. No, this ain't that. I don't want to consistently be told, you go to lunch when I want you to go to lunch, and I'm going to pay you what I think you're worth. No. You don't know my worth. You're not paying me enough. You don't know what I'm worth. So I just want to tell everybody, get up. You get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up from that place of stagnation and move forward. And stop thinking about what you used to be. I learned that the hard way. My past, if that's all I'm going to ever see, then I can never see beyond my past. If I stay stuck in what I used to be, I'll never see where I should be. I'll always be stuck going in that circle of past. So now my thing is, what do you see? So if you change your mind about what you see about yourself, what do you see? And then what you see is what you speak. So I always be my catchline. Change your mind. Change your speech. Change your mind. Change your speech. Change your life. Back into your hands, Ms.
Yes, I had a question for, first off, I enjoyed it. It was a surprise. I can say that. It was most definitely a surprise. I did not expect to come on here and learn the stuff that I'm aiming toward. You know, I didn't expect to come on here and meet an Eric that's like this, and that. And I'm like, this is exactly what me and my wife is aiming toward. You know, we're shooting towards certain things that Eric brought up, but I got here a little late. And when it comes to just advice to, you know, new business owners that's starting from where you started, what advice can you give to us when we come to that crossroad? You know, when we come to certain spots that you reach, that you have experience in, that you can be like, hey, this and that and this, you know, whatever it is that you can give us before we leave up on tonight. I would love to hear that.
Mm-hmm. You mean like when you come to the crossroads of like giving up or trying to push forward to?
Yes, exactly, giving up, and you got to just keep pushing, because just like you said, you got to a point where you spent 2 checks and you was giving them away and you got a few sold, but then you looking in your living room and it's like 250 shirts left and they ain't going nowhere. You know, when you get to situations like that, that was good advice, and I took that and ran with it. But I would love to get, you know, more advice if you got any more for us.
Sure. So in terms of me personally, because I can only speak on me, right? I can't speak on everybody else because I don't know everybody else's situation. But in terms of me, man, like I still to this day sometimes, like I still be like, man, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? I still have, you know, doubt. And that's, and I'm able to share that with you and able to tell you that because I'm human. And we all have those feelings of self-doubt or self-worthlessness. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, like I don't know if this is, you know, right or whatnot. But I will tell you this. I tend more to lean on the championships or the congratulations moments, which would keep me going. And I'll share one with you. You might think that you might think this is like why would you get happy about that? Well, let me explain. So as I'm setting up my website, I'm setting everything up, I'm getting everything going. And one of my ultimate goals, right? One of my ultimate goals is to obviously stomp out bullying. You know, I want to get rid of bullying. But as a black business owner, I thought it was really important for me to give back. So for months, I was trying to figure out how I can incorporate this into my website. And I finally figured it out. And that night I went to bed feeling like, man, I'm actually giving back from my company. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about me making the money and me taking off and being a success. For me, it's not just about that. It's about me giving back, giving somebody a story to look at to say, dang, he came from this, he's this now. You know what I mean? So if you're coming up and you're trying to do something, you're going to have multiple things that you're doing in that one goal, right? You're going to have multiple things working in that one goal. Celebrate them short victories. That's the best way to put it. Celebrate them short victories, because those is what will keep you going. That's what's going to keep you going and being like, man, I could do this. And I'll say something else too. This is just with me, but I'll say something else too. I do be tired. I'll say get a lot of rest. Try to get as much rest as you can. I tend to make the worst decisions when I'm tired. And I start to think the worst when I'm tired. So I would say that as well, too. Some other jewels that I can leave with you as well.
Well, Brother Eric, man, I appreciate you. I know that this won't be the last time we speak. That was some real good information. Man, I don't know who's hosting this, but thank you all for throwing this up on tonight, and I'm glad that I was able to attend. That's all I have to ask. Thank you again.
No problem. Thanks.
Yeah, I would like to first off say thank you guys for doing this, and secondly, just kind of point out something that Eric just said, which was he celebrates the small things, right? And there is a Bible verse where God says, hey, be faithful over small things, I'll make you rule over much. You know what I'm saying? So it's those little things that we think are little that God says, hey, I'll build a mansion out of that one little brick. You know, so if you sit there and focus on the failures or the shortcomings or the times when you messed up, or as Beauty and Barzz will say, if you sit there and focus on the past, you continuously build a house on sand, right? But if you focus on that victory, then you can continue to build victory upon victory upon victory, because the way a human is made up, whatever you focus on is what you're going to continue to get. So, man, that was if anything, if I hope if nobody else heard nothing else, I hope they heard that part right there, because that was solid. But I do want to ask you this, Eric, and then I got right after you answer yours, so I got to speak a whole bunch of times. I want to ask Sister Shy something, but I'm gonna ask both of them at the same time if that's okay.
That's fine.
So, Eric, I talk to Nicole a lot. I'm talking about a lot. Like, she get on my nerves a lot. And
that's not nasty, y'all. Let me say that so y'all don't think it's some random man.
You don't know me like that. You don't know me like that. So, you know, when it comes to her, I don't want to ask her this question because I know she'll be really humble about it. And so I'm going to swing it the other way around. And I'm going to ask you, when you first ran into her, your first impression, and how has she changed since your first impression of her? If you can be real honest with me, tell me what you saw when you first saw her, and then kind of tell me what you feel like she has turned into. Give me the positive. And so I want you to answer that. And then for Beauty and Barzz or Sister Shy, I want to know right now, at this point in time, I know you're pressing forward. I know you got the books. I know you soaring higher than ever. But as Eric just said, there's those times where your mind just goes bonkers, right? So for you, what is, Shy, what would you say to people who say, man, how do you overcome your fears? What is it that you're doing that helps you to overcome the fears that could literally kill Kingdom Tears, but you keep it alive? How are you doing it? So those are my two questions tonight, and God bless y'all, man. Thank y'all for this.
You're welcome.
Brother Eric?
Oh, I thought he said Shy first. So my first impressions, meet Nicole. We were both at work. And I had a class of maybe, 25 to 30 people that I was looking after. And I wasn't paying her enough attention. And she let it be known. She was like, she asked me why didn't I stop by and say hi to her a certain morning. And I didn't do it on purpose. I was, I guess, tunnel vision, you know. And ever since then, we've been cool. And so what I've seen her do since I've met her, I've seen her start a business quicker than I've ever been able to start a business. And I don't, because I don't really necessarily know, so to speak, but I know that these were ideas that she has or that she had before, but I've seen her like start a business real quick, bam, 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 bam. And it's like she listened to me a little bit and then she'll go and form her own opinion and start her business like real quick. Where it was taking me 6 or so months to make little moves in my business. So that's what I say as far as like for Nicole, from then to now. She's a lot more confident as well too, because I remember when we first met, she was kind of a little shyer. She wouldn't say too much. But now, you know, we talk all the time, or we talk every few days or something like that. So, yeah, she's a really good woman, really good heart. You know, she tries to give me the kudos I guess I deserve, but I just tell her, hey, I'm just doing what I do. So in that sense, we are both humble like that. We don't look at it as like, we're this huge thing. I certainly don't. I'm just doing what I do. And I'm just, putting the information out there. So does that answer your question?
It does. I'm always curious. First off, because I really like the mindset that you have. It's impressive to me. And so I always, her being one of the members here, I'm always curious of how people perceive her when they first meet her.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always encourage her, hey, first impressions are everything. If you come off as ignorant or foolish off the bat, you got a lot of work to build up, come back from that. So it's the same as starting a business. You put your business out there and you put it out there and you flop off the bat trying to be too much. It's hard to recover a business from that. So I look at, and this might sound silly, but I look at first impressions as a business. It is my business to show you who I am from the day that you meet me. That's my business. Okay. And so if I show you the negative of me, now my business goes under. You don't want to come back and shop at my store. You don't want to buy my merchandise. You don't want to eat at my restaurant. So I always encourage the people that attend Holy Holies, hey, put your best foot forward. Because if they see you and they like you off the bat, because you're not trying to, forget the merchandise. Eric, you said it. If they don't like you, they're not going to buy the merchandise. So
right.
You're really just selling you. That's what you're selling.
Right.
So
right.
At the end of the day, I really wanted to hear that from somebody who had to train her, how she came off at the beginning, and then what you see up until now. So, yes, sir, you really did answer that, man, and I appreciate it.
No problem.
Now to answer my question. So, what can I give to people that may struggle sometimes when it comes to their mindset? I'm a poet, so I think a lot.
okay? Sometimes I have moments where I think a little bit too much. I'm telling you, thoughts are constantly running through my mind. Sometimes I think so much that I have to quiet the voices. And what I mean by that is I listen to a lot of motivational speaking because I have to quiet the thoughts sometimes. So I listen to a lot of Les Brown. I listen to a lot of Maya Angelou. I listen to Billy Alsbrooks. I listen to Dr. Norman Vincent. Can't remember his last name right now. But I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, a lot of it, because I need that motivation sometimes. I need people to speak into me sometimes so I can remember who I am and where I come from. Because my hard drive personally is still being cleaned out from all of the stuff that has been programmed into me, all of the negative that has been programmed into me. So at times, I call on my pastor when it just gets too much and when I'm just very overwhelmed. But the first thing I always do before I do any of this is I go to God. I pray. I spend that time with him at night. I need him. Like, even if I just go in the bathroom for a minute and just cry sometimes. A lot of the times I cry and nobody even knows because it gets overwhelming for me. Like I said, I'm constantly thinking. And sometimes the thoughts are not so positive, and that could weigh on you at times. So for me personally, I have to listen to a lot of motivational speaking. I have to speak to myself. I talk to myself a lot. People may think talking to yourself is crazy, but I am my biggest encourager. Don't nobody encourage me more than me. So I have to talk to myself and go off on myself sometimes and be like, honey, no. Whatever you're thinking right now, get it out. I have to rebuke those thoughts. I have to cast them away because at the end of the day, I have to keep my vibration on high because I want people to have to come up to my vibration. I don't want to stoop down to other people's vibration. I live in a house with my 4 sons and my husband, and sometimes my husband may be having a bad day. He's down here, so I have to make sure that I stay up here so he can come up here because I don't want to go down there. So that is the advice that I would give to other people. Sometimes the world may feel like it's weighing on your shoulders because I experience it all the time. But first, get that encouragement from God. Second, make sure you encourage yourself. And third, just make sure you continue to fill your hard drive with that positivity, and stay away from the news. That's what I have to say.
Can I share a quote?
Huh?
Can I share a quote that I heard today that was like, it actually touched me kind of crazy. The quote was, the key to happiness is being happy with what you have. I just thought that was really crazy because a lot of us are not happy with what we got. We always pushing and striving for more. And me included. And we're always pushing and striving for more. And we're never really happy with what we have. And so I just thought that was a crazy quote that I wanted to share tonight. And hopefully that helps somebody. I'm thinking about where they at.
Where you at? No? Where you at? Okay, Pastor Matt, is there anything else you would like to share with us or anyone else?
I guess my last thing is just for what you call a freedom talk girl. We gonna go freedom talk.
No, I call it freedom girl.
Freedom girl. We want freedom girl. So my last one is for freedom girl. And I know she's been in this position. I'm sure everybody on this line has probably been in that position. And I'm gonna say it just like this because I'm sure you'll get it. But in your business and life, at Chase or wherever else, what in God's name do you do when you don't know what to do?
Wow.
That's a good question.
Pray. What do I do when I don't know what to do? I have to step back, reevaluate, observe, look within, check my surroundings, and speak to myself. And, you know, I have to pray. I have to, okay, Lord, where we at, what we doing, you know, what's going on. I look within. When I don't know what to do, I do nothing but step back and look within. And, I mean, I know this isn't a church event, but when you don't know what to do, sometimes you have to step back, you have to fast, you got to step back and deny that food and really deny yourself so that you can hear to get direction. So when I don't know what to do, I step back. Faith, business, life. I have to step back, observe, reevaluate, and kind of see where I went wrong. Because obviously, I got off track if I don't know what to do. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I mean, that helps. So you step back, you pray, and just kind of go back over everything. I think that's a question that a lot of people have when they get stuck. You know, listening to Eric, listening to Darren, listening to Shy, and I think, like I said, everybody's come to that crossroad of, oh, crap, what do I do from here? You know, so, and I think that's what this game of chess is about. Like, when you feel like you at that point of checkmate, or check, what's your next move? Like, what do you do? And you got to scan the whole board, because if I move to the left, the rook can get me. If I move to the right, the bishop got me. If I move up, it's a pawn directly ahead of me, and I can't move on this diagonal angle because the queen can go everywhere. So it's like, what do I do in this position? I think, I mean, I know you, and I know you probably pull together another one of these at some point, but I think that is the eternal question for people that I have to minister to, people that's on this line, people who go through marriage issues, people, you got the kids and the money. Eric I'm leaving Chase to chase my dream, but what if my dream don't want me? Right? It's questions like that, man. So, but I do thank you for taking y'all time out to answer these questions. And a lot of times I like to hear people's mindset on these things. So I ask it just to ask it. But I really appreciate y'all, man. Really, God only knows how much I appreciate you. And seriously, Shy and Eric, never met you, Eric. I heard a lot about you, but I really, you're an inspiration, man. You're an inspiration. And I say this with the utmost humility, with the utmost respect. And I don't say this to a lot of people. But if any of my sons was to grasp the mindset that you have, I would not be upset about that. Your mindset is something serious. Love it, man. Love it. So appreciate y'all.
Well, I put it back in the hands of Freedom Girl. And you know, I love Freedom Girl. No, I'm no. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Eric. Thank you, Shaitan, Mr. Darren, Katina, Sister Tawana, my pastor, the Romeo person that was on here and left. Thank you. This was the first of many. For sure. He knows me, so he know I'm gonna do another one. And I wanna say this before we bring Shy back to give us her poem. Eric said something to me before, because I was like, the numbers, and the people, and I wanted to be successful, and I want all these people. And he was like, not about the numbers. I was like, what you mean it's not? You know, so he would always say some stuff to make me come home and think. And he's right. He had on that shirt, and I was like, what's that? And I listened to his podcast, and the one I actually listened to, I had a whole bunch to say that next day. And I listened to it that Friday, and that Monday, I was like, hold on, we need to holler. I spent my whole break over there going back. But, before she brings her poem and we get out of here, I am going to bring him back. I wanted to give you guys his website address for his merch and where you can find him at on Spotify. Here.
Do you want me to do that now?
Yep.
Okay. The website for Weird is weirdclothingcompany.com. Spelled all the way out, www.weirdclothingcompany.com. I just released some new merchandise today, some new clothing. So we just released that. Some pretty sick stuff up there. Inconsistently Consistent. My podcast can be found on Spotify just by typing in Inconsistently with the L-Y, consistent. You can find that on Apple Podcasts. You can find that on Spotify, Deezer, Google, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find me. And if you just really don't want to do that, then you can also go to Anchor FM, and you can leave me messages there. You can also follow me along as well, like donating to the podcast as well is also really, really cool. It helps the brand grow, and that is just my Cash App is inconsistently. And yeah, man. I mean, we just keeping this thing going in 2021. I hope you guys really enjoy the new merch that just dropped, and the new merch that dropped for season 3. Because I want to get that out as well too. Because my daughter is an artist. Her name is Rissa, and she was able to create a painting. Which I was able to take her painting and incorporate it onto clothing that you could wear for season 3's merchandise. So really, the money doesn't go to me; it goes straight to her, helping her and the baby. So, I mean, again, we got Afterpay. If you're not familiar with Afterpay, go to YouTube and look it up. Y'all about to be like, Afterpay, what? If you're not familiar with it. There's a really cool thing that people are doing, so that way you can get merch and get things right now, and don't have to break the bank to get it, because we are dealing with some hard times. And I'll leave you with this before I leave, because I just talk too much, I guess. But 5% of the proceeds that you guys do, if you guys decide to buy something from the website, 5% of the proceeds goes to some hand-picked, and I picked out some charities that I wanted to donate to. Some is Stomping Out Bullies, some is dealing with LGBTQ, some is dealing with Habitat for Humanity for Central Arizona. So it does give back to those organizations, so that way you're giving back when you do purchase from Weird as well too. So.
Okay. So y'all got the information to check out Freedom Talks merch. You go to www.freedomtalk2.com, www.freedomtalk2.com. Our podcast is Freedom Talk. You find us same place, Spotify. God, Google Pad, iPad, whatever. I'm not an Apple person. Wherever podcasts are at, you can find us. Yeah, and so we too will be dropping some new merch in about another week, actually. But check us out. You get a discount. All new people that are buying now, you get a 20% discount with the discount code Freedom2. Check it out. So the next word you will hear, and then we're done. So I want to thank everybody. Thank you. Sister Shaitan is going to come. She's going to tell us how to get her merch, how to get her shirts, how to get her merchandise. And then she's going to grace us with a poem. And immediately after her poem, we are done. So I thank you all for taking time out of your day to get on here and join us here. Again, we're going to do this again and again and again, and we're going to get the message out here. Because everybody to me has a dream, a passion, and talent. And the grave has too many talented people that did nothing with their talent. Yeah. So Sister Shai, again, thank you again. Tell us where to get your merch. Give us your poem, and then we're out of here.
Okay, so for my merchandise, you can find me first on Instagram, Facebook under Kingdom Tears, spelled KYNGDOMTEARZZ. If you direct message me or inbox me and let me know that you want to purchase a shirt, I will put in the order. And if you don't live in Arizona, of course, I will get it shipped to you. So that is how you get merchandise from Kingdom Tears. And Beauty N Barzz is about to bless you guys with a poem, because my poem name is Beauty N Barzz.
Do your thing, Beauty N Barzz.
Only thing I ask is that you hear with your ears, because faith comes by hearing, but you listen and receive with your heart. And I'm used to reading fast, so I'm going to read slower because I really want you guys to receive what I Am has for you. Mindset is called mindset eject. Mindset eject, to reset your reality. I was trapped within the cracks of mediocre fatalities. Media waves like spider webs trying to capture your mind. If they control you, then they'll keep you at the poverty line. In this society, they're trying to say that God is a fraud. And if the word's not in your heart, then you will chase the facade. Let's talk mindset change. That sends a shock to the brain. Because in a world of casualties, everybody looks the same. The most difficult thing to do is change the mind of a man, to reset the hard drive that is programmed with sin. I was swimming in my hurt and being consumed every week, saying, I'm over it, I'm done. But you know talk is cheap. I returned back to my vomit, past still hindering me. Memories ran through my mind, devil pressed to repeat. Felt like I was schizophrenic, voices talking to me. My mind became my slave master, beat me till I was weak. Needed a way to ease my mind, quiet the voices within. So I called on my friend wine. Drunkenness was my sin. But let's not talk about the past, because it doesn't exist. This is a poem about change, so listen to this. When you are soaring in your purpose, hawks will try to keep up. They just hate to see you great, but set your treasures above. Just set yourself on fire. Soar a little bit higher. When you grow stagnant, become tired, prove the devil a liar. You won't find love within a man or a man with a womb. True love is given through I Am. The fruit must ripen in you. You won't find truth within the media, the best false prophet around. The lies venomous like Ophidia, demanding that you bow down. But I'm a force to be reckoned with. I don't tell jokes with the dummies, but the truth I'm coming with cuts so deep that it's funny. Everything that you are rests within your own mind. Believe it, feel it, breathe it, see it, and it's yours, bottom line. If you believe that you're a failure, then you're telling the truth. Then again, I don't know what kingdom your mind assigned itself to. The world around you is full of puppets, so be the ventriloquist. If you let them pull your strings, then you're friends with the hypocrite. There's an antichrist agenda that seeks to devour you. They'll camouflage to look like God. Will you give them the power to? Man will tell you no one's perfect, an excuse for their sinning. If you look at what the word says, we are made in God's image. For the love of the green roots all evil forces. Stay in tune with your God power, and money flows from all sources. Division from Almighty God means a lack in your power. You'll fall for persuasive frauds when it cometh the hour. Believe it or not, God was first us before we became flesh. Yeah, I'm talking the Bible, the greatest book on mindset. If your flesh is still corrupted with the spiritual maggot, your demise will be abrupted. Next thing you know it, you're ashes. Mindset, eject. Awakened yet? Or are you slothing and sleeping? Are you failing the same test? Is rotten fruit what you're reaping? Is breast milk what you're drinking? Are you a babe in your thinking? Condensed truth for your feeding? No solid foods for your eating? Well, listen clear to my directions. Warning before your destruction. Take this injection of correction before God strikes with abruption. As a man thinketh, so is he. If you think bad, then you got it. Manifestation speaks for free, and your truth always honest. Reality will produce all the lies in your truth. Are you wealthy or a sluggard? Well, that's all up to you. Your sight is the biggest liar, Satan wrapped in disguise. Your face is blind as a star-nosed mole, so just pluck out your eye. Faith comes first by hearing. Take heed of what you take in. Your ears, the gateway to your soul, can lure you into sin. Living backwards, always evil. So just walk the straight line. Life won't exist just like time if you don't change your mind. There's no need for affirmation if you don't have belief. You're speaking words that you can't conceive, so you're being deceived. If you have no self-control, then tell your members to depart, because your lifestyle is watered by the plant in your heart. Keep your vibration on high when life throws you lows, because if you stay in Eden, you won't fall to below. Mindset, eject, unroot, replant, throw the hard drive away, replace, revamp. You lose, I chant. You snooze, I vamp. Vampire, I'm dire. You're sleeping, I'm wired. You're burnt, I'm on fire. You're flapping, I'm higher. You're slacking, you're tired, I'm stacking. I'm admired. I'm bossing, you're hired. I'm the truth, you're a liar. You're a screw, I'm the plier. Depart to the lake of fire. Hard drive restored.
All right. Good job. Well, thank you guys again for joining. You all have a great remainder of the rest of your evening. Thank you for being here. Beauty and Barzz is having a poetry set at the end of February, correct?
Yes, February 27th, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Standard Time.
I'm one of the poets that night. So you guys join us there. She'll have all the information out. But you all have a great day, great night. Thank you, Pastor, for being here. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for watching. Let me know what you think. Comment. Was it boring? Was it fun? What should I spice up? What should I do better? Let me know. I'm always down for the feedback. But thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for tuning in to Soul Water Saturdays, where your soul never thirsts. Continue to watch, subscribe, like, share, all of that. I have new things coming up. There are some moves that are being made behind the scenes. Beauty and Barzz is doing some things, making some moves. My husband, Jerry Curl Get a Curl, which is my husband, Darren, but you know, Jerry Curl Get a Curl is his character. He's also making moves. We are making moves in the Johnson household. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for the love, the comments. Thank you for the compliments. Whatever it is greatly appreciated. Know that I don't do this for me. This is not my gift. Not even my body. This is all for God. This is all for the Lord. Y'all that know me know that I'm not that great, but God is amazing. So thank you guys so much for your support once again, and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys next time.
Yo, I wanna celebrate this life forever. Hey man, this sound like celebration music, don't it? I'm living it, not dreaming it. We get it. Yeah. I wanna celebrate this life forever. I feel like rapping today, baby. Real Hope Pop circa 1985 again. We getting it. Man, I had to write a letter in my loose leaf and let the pen bleed about another two. Know that you love me, so I'm feeling good. Say but not soft, you get that understood. God got me doing things I never would.